In this video, I will continue with the generator settings and I will use the strategy template that I created. I can actually rename it. I'll click on Save As and you can specify a folder where you want to keep it, or you can keep it in the strategies folder in the FSB Pro user files directory. I will go for Euro USD M15 as a start and I might change it later, and you can see that the name changed. Now when I'm in the generator, I have already the strategy that I have prepared as a template from the editor, but if I click on the generator, you will see right here a few more tabs. The first one are the common settings. So here we have checked same directional signal and opposite directional signal. If you uncheck them, the generator won't add additional entry signals. If you decide to check the same directional signal, you will leave it on the generator to decide whether it will add to the position with winner, loser, or whatever it decides. And the opposite directional signal I will check as well. And when I say it will decide, it's not picking those randomly, right? It's using the historical data that we have prepared, and it's generating the strategies based on this data, so we will see some actual results. But of course, at the end of the day, you are deciding if you want to use that strategy that came from the generator, or you want to change it, or you just want to delete it. Okay, later I will show you how I analyze the results from the generator. The next one is important: generate position protection. So these are the stop loss and the take profit ranges, and keep in mind that in FSB Pro all of the values are in points. So nowadays most of the brokers are with 5 digits after the decimal comma, which means that 2000 points are actually 20 pips. Okay, if I set stop loss range from 200 to 1000, it means it is from 20 pips to 100 pips, which is a pretty good range. I will keep it this way for the stop loss, the take profit, and break even. I will select not to use it. Again, it's a personal choice if you will be using it, but for me it never made sense to use break even, because the point you enter the market is important just for you, not for the market. Okay, that's basically the simplest logic I'm using, not to use the break even. Okay, but up to you one more time. And for the stop loss and the take profit, you can decide always to use it, may use, do not use, or keep original. I will go for may use, so I will leave it again to the generator to decide if there will be a stop loss or take profit for the strategy. The maximum count of slots is how many entry conditions and exit conditions you want to have in your strategies. For example, you can go for maximum opening logic conditions 4, which means that we will have totally 4 logic conditions, and maximum closing logic conditions I will keep it to 2, which is okay. Now guys, there are 2 buttons to close that tab. One is from OK, and you are saving the changes, and if you open a new strategy it will reflect. The other one is from here, accept changes, but this is just for the local strategy, right, for the local tab. So keep that in mind. Now the second tab we have is settings, and from here we can decide how to arrange the strategies. We can do that by net balance, which means that on the top we will see the strategies with most net balance. We can decide to see on the top the ones with best system quality number, Sharpe ratio, maximum equity drawdown. So it's up to you. I will leave it to net balance. And working time in minutes is how long time the generator will work. And one of the most common questions I receive is if running longer the generator will bring us better strategies. Well, not necessarily. You can get fantastic strategies in just 2 minutes, or you can get the top strategy in the collection in the first minutes. and running the generator for 60 minutes or 600 minutes does not guarantee better strategies. Obviously, we will get more strategies, so the chance of having a better strategy is bigger, okay, because the generator works longer. Now, the acceptance criteria are very important. I'll suggest always to keep it checked, and if you click on the acceptance criteria, you will go to the control panel acceptance criteria, so you can access as well if you click on control panel and then go to acceptance criteria. So here are the rules that you want in your strategies as a minimum. For example, you can uncheck all of these and you can decide from scratch what you want to add. Now, minimum count of trades I will definitely use, and I will even increase it to 200. So the more trades we have, it is a more reliable backtest, right? We don't want to trade a strategy that was executed just 2, 3, 5, 10 times. We want to see at least 100 or 200 times, which makes the strategy more trusty for the future. All right, because if it worked 200 times, it is more likely that it will work in the future. But if it worked just 5 times, then those could be just lucky 5 times, right? So 200 is okay for me. And for example, I will select maximum consecutive losses 5. So I don't want to see strategies that have more than 5 consecutive losses. And you can reset if you want or keep it that way. I will go back to the generator settings, and on the bottom we have additional settings, which I will leave by default and I will not go into details right now. Okay, so pretty much that's it. As well, we have the indicators tab from where you can decide if you want to remove some of the indicators, so the generator can choose from all of these indicators. Okay, out of sample is as well something that I will not go into details right now. This is the basic setup that I will use, and I will hit on start. For 60 minutes, the generator will be calculating strategies, and whenever a strategy meets the acceptance criteria that I selected to use, and now I cannot change it because the generator is working. However, I can access it if I go to control panel and I go to acceptance criteria, and if I make any changes, they will reflect the new generator that I can run. And actually, I can run a second generator while I'm running the first one. Simply open a new strategy, and here you can set a generator. You can change the settings, you can change the market. For example, at the same time you can go for M5, but it makes the computer a little bit slower. So now you can monitor the collection if you click on the repository. When strategies are being generated, I will see them right here in the collections, and I will pause the video and I will continue after we have some results.